Hey, what's going on? Here, let me pause this music real quick. Welcome back to the second episode. So a couple of things have changed since the last time we saw each other. So first off, tried to improve the audio quality a little bit. I've got this lav mic that I'm gonna wear, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now. And then also we've got the camera on a tripod, so hopefully it's a little bit more stable for you while you're watching. So you all reached out and voted on what you wanted to have me build, wanted to see me build for the first project, and I think everybody unanimously agreed that I should build the time machine radio. So went with the Raspberry Pi for this project because it has the ability for us to have the audio input already built in, has Wi-Fi built in, it has the GPIO ports, GPIO pins for us to be able to control things like the buttons on the radio when we finally find the radio we're going to use, and the audio dials for volume. So everything's built in there for us. So worked on this a little bit this weekend, didn't get to a finished state, so there will be a part 2 of this video. But what we were able to do was to get it so that there's a music server running on the Raspberry Pi. We found a great project online called the Music Box project. And the Raspberry Pi Music Box project allows us to run services like Spotify, and in our case, the Internet Archive, to be able to pull audio clips in from there. So we're going to be using the Internet Archive for the main part of our project. What we want to be able to do is pull different years into the Raspberry Pi. So for example, I have musicbox.local set up as a website on my local server now. And then when I'm there, I can go into the local server and I can play audio clips from it. I can control the volume from here. I can make it louder. I can skip tracks. And so all of this happens right now on a local server. And what we want to be able to do is do all of this button switching. Here, I'll let you listen to a little bit of it. Not too much though. So when we finally set this up to work in the radio, we'll have all of the radio buttons hooked up to the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi, so we can control things like volume, turn the radio off, and it'll also make it so that we can do things like change playlists. And that's how we're going to change years. So songs will be loaded as different playlists, and then as you move the radio dial, that'll change to the different playlists for each year. And so that's how everything will be set up here. So we've got a Bluetooth speaker now, but we'll just be using the normal speaker that's on the radio that we find. So to tell you a little bit more about the Raspberry Pi project, I'm going to switch over to this second camera for us here. So as you can see here, what we've got here is just our Raspberry Pi. This has got a little case that I bought online for it. That kind of connects it up. It's got these fancy heat sinks. But right now we just have power going into it, and we've got this audio cable going into this Bluetooth speaker back here. This is the breadboard that I was using to hook up some stuff to these GPIO pins to try out some physical buttons that changed music that was playing on our Raspberry Pi. And then over here, let's see if I can get the color balance right here. You can see our system for how we pick music currently, that I will be switching out to be just playlists for different years. So in here we can do everything from streams, so we can go see like an NPR stream, and then that'll start playing through our Raspberry Pi up here. And then we can do everything to being able to search for music as well. So if we go in here to search, right now, we've got 1920 set up. We can look at all these things in the 1920s. Internet Archive. Click there, and then it'll start playing. So what's really nice here is that we can set these all up as playlists online and then use our GPIO pin buttons to be able to select those different playlists for us. So that'll make it super easy for us to build the physical side to what we want to do. give you a little bit of a tour of the desk here so far. Obviously, we've got a bunch of different things over here. We've got our Bluetooth speaker. We've got a bunch of this collection of just stuff I've been collecting through Addabox. I subscribe to the quarterly Addabox subscription for Adafruit. So I get all of these amazing electronics every quarter that help me build out all of the collection of stuff that I've been collecting to be able to do these kinds of builds. I also just bought this new pair of pliers. I'm gonna go to the main camera for this a little bit. So this pair of pliers is awesome. What it has on one side is it's got the wire cutters and then a simple set of pliers along with wire strippers on the other side. Radio Shack used to sell these and they were amazing. Obviously, Radio Shack doesn't sell much of anything anymore, but I was able to find this replacement on Amazon, and I'll link it in the description of this video. I think they are amazing wire cutters and wire strippers for any project that you're working on. So yeah, so that's where we are right now. We've got the Raspberry Pi working with Music Box. That makes it so we can select songs that play through it. This device will hide inside of our final radio, our vintage radio that we're gonna find this week. And we'll take that apart, put everything together, and then make it so that those buttons on that vintage radio work through the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi here, so that way we can control it. So this is step one. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks when you come back here, we'll have the finished project and I'll be able to take you through that process. I'm also planning of writing a larger article about how I did this because I found that there weren't a lot of more recent up-to-date versions of this kind of build where you're taking an old radio and turning it into something that's connected to like a Raspberry Pi. So I'm excited to put that out there for the world. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I've had an amazing response from friends and family reaching out to me and saying they're excited about these videos, and I'm excited to put them out there. I'm excited for this first project that you all picked, and hopefully we'll finish it in the next 2 weeks here, so when you come back we'll have the full build. And I'm also excited to announce the next project that we're going to be working on, and all I can tell you right now is it's a blockchain thermometer, so more details on that coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you again soon, team. Bye.